I remember going on a trip to the circus in elementary school, and I remember watching as all the other kids pulled out money to buy snacks and toys, but, well, I didn't have any. And I remember a little girl looking towards me and asking me, "Why didn't your parents give you any money?" And angrily, I went home and asked my mother that same question, but all she could say to me was, "I'm sorry, I didn't have any to give you." But that wasn't the only instance. As I grew older, it became toys, souvenirs, certain clothing, game systems, cell phones, all things I wanted but couldn't have because we couldn't afford them. And life was difficult growing up. I was being raised by a mother who was attempting to raise 3 children on her own while making $13,000 a year. And you see, oftentimes I'd have to rearrange the few shirts I had with different pants to look as if I wasn't wearing the same outfit over and over again. So why am I telling you this? Well, you see, one of the most important aspects of our life is our sense of identity. Who are you? Typically, it's your name, where you're from, and your interests. But as you get older, you understand that your identity includes 2 more major components: how you perceive yourself and how others perceive you. So, how does one find out how other people see them? Well, we look in a mirror. We look hard. We observe. Ultimately, we want the reassurance that we'll be well received, needed, wanted, and capable to take on the world, and we do so with both an internal and external gaze. In life, we look into the mirror a lot. We ask ourselves, is this it? I mean, is this really all that there's going to be? Can I do anything to change it? But the people who become great, the people whose names are taught in classrooms, the people who can inspire change, understand that the answer to that question relies on yourself and not what is shown back from the mirror. What this means is that the internal gaze is more important than the external gaze because the internal can change the external. How we view ourselves can change how the world views us. When I looked in the mirror as a younger teen, I saw what I believe to be true and what many poor youth saw whenever they looked in the mirror. I saw hopelessness. I saw worthlessness. I might have saw in a future, but not a bright one at that. A world in which I would live in but not matter to because I was a nobody. And my voice would never matter. And there's certain places, homes, and jobs that were all above me. But it was during this period of my life that I recognized I was living a life with depression, brokenness, confusion, heartache, a lack of responsibility, and a misdirected sense of purpose. But you see, in coming to college, I discovered 3 things that helped me change how I see myself in the mirror. The first being acquired accountability, the second being increased involvement, and the third being maintained emotional stability. These 3 things helped change how I saw myself in the mirror, not only how I saw myself, but how the world saw me. So if we must rethink tomorrow, let us rethink how we can help poor youth see themselves differently. Let's talk about the first category, acquired accountability. You see, when I came to college, I was assigned an advisor, but this man became much more than an advisor to me. He was a mentor, a coach, and a father figure. It doesn't have to be a teacher, though. It can be anyone, though, a friend, a family member, an advisor to a coach. I mean, find someone who you can get to know, really be honest with that person, learn everything about each other, and then let that person know you need accountability. Because one of the biggest mistakes people make is to assume that they're alone in this world in their struggles and that they have to stay that way. Because you see, once you find someone you can open up to, you open up and create a person who can not only set up a motivator to keep you going, but also inspire you to pursue success or things that you might have not previously felt possible. With that, let's talk about the second step, which is increased involvement. Simply put, get out there and do something. Being involved in different clubs or organizations is the first step in understanding that you are an individual, but you're contributing to something much bigger than yourself. You see, we all look for aspects to associate or specify our identity to. For me, I'm a debater, forensicator, and creative writer, but I would not have known that I had a knack for such things had I not gotten involved in clubs or organizations to find out. Had I not been involved, I wouldn't have discovered my passion for debate, my love for argument, or the confidence and success I felt in achieving things through those clubs and organizations. Now let's move on to the last step, which is acquired, maintained emotional stability. You see, this is the most difficult process because I used to be a very depressed person. And when I looked in the mirror, I didn't see a future. I literally couldn't imagine a future, so much so because I was dwelling on my past, I thought I would probably commit suicide before I would see the future. But you see, it was changing my perception to allow myself to perceive my misfortunes and the trials in my life as events building my character and story up instead of tearing me down. That was the key to maintaining emotional success. It's changing that mentality of I'm powerless to I'm able. I'm able to look at the pain and the tragedy and the heartache and the things that I was told that might have caused me to place limits on how far I think I can go. And it's saying, no, I won't allow those things to happen to inhibit my life any further. It's recognizing the restrictions you might have placed on your own life, dealing with your demons, and breaking down those barriers that keep you from being your happiest or doing your best. These 3 steps summarily comprise the process needed to change your reflection in the mirror. I went on from being the poor kid who felt like he could become nothing to becoming the top-ranked JV debater in the country after winning the National Junior Varsity Debate Championship. I debated Kansas Senator Jeff King on his popular bill. I won 2 college-level essay writing contests, and today, I'm speaking at a TEDx event. So when you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see shame and doubt? Or do you see power and confidence? Because tomorrow can be better for youth whose parents can't even afford peanuts at a circus. For youth who have to worry about which shirt they wore what day to not give away their secret. But tomorrow can be better for youth who feel like they will never matter. Thank you.